Okay, I thought for today would just there was some interest in looking at templates again and how to use those. And so I'm just going to go through and show you some of the advantages of using the templates and how to create them from scratch. And this is our data set here over here on the in the table of contents. We have a number of layers that we can utilize. And what we're going to do is first thing we'll do is turn on the editor up here, the editor bar, toolbar, start editing. And I purposely added in a bogus layer just to show you in case you haven't seen this yet. But in this editing tool dialog, you want to make sure that you pick the layer that you're interested in editing. And what happens is I pick here, area of interest. You notice this is the only thing highlighted up here at the top. These are not. And down at the bottom, it's identifying the actual folder in which the editing will occur. And that's because editing is one of the few things in ArcGIS that actually will allow you to undo some of the things you've done. So it has to confine its activity to one folder. And that's what it's doing here. So you pick the layers that you're interested in, and it'll identify the folder. Okay, so we've done that. And then what happens now in ArcGIS is over on the right hand side we have a window, the Create Features window, and it shows the different layers that we can edit. And these are templates for editing those features within those separate layers. And these templates are coming right from your table of contents, and they allow you to edit features and in the same process enter in attribute information automatically, as well as symbology and things like that. So just to demonstrate it, I'll zoom into this area here and we'll add some road data. Let me zoom in. And maybe we want to add in and continue this Highway 9 as a major highway. To do that, I would simply pick the template entry for major road, and down below this window is our construction tools. And I can construct a line, a rectangle, a freehand line, and so forth. And all these are going to do is change the method in which I'm drawing on the screen. It will not change the fact that I'm still digitizing a line. So if I did a rectangle, I'm not going to get an area, and I could just click and drag, do this, and this. You see, I'm getting a rectangle. But if I close it, it does not fill it in. It's not an area. It's just a rectangle that's composed of lines. So although you could pick these other construction tools, they may not really be appropriate for your purposes. So we'll grab the line. We're still on major road up here. And then we'll digitize, and it's snapping to the end. And then we can put in our new road alignment. Such power I have. And then end it. Now, normally, you would, once you've ended a feature like that, you would go up here to the top here and open the attribute table, and then you could enter in information. Notice though that some of this information is already there. The type is already identified as highway, but the name's not there, and that's appropriate because the highways and major roads could have many different names, but their type is called highway. So in this case, we would just click on our name and type in Highway 9. And enter that in that way. And then if I wanted to digitize a local road, I just come back and grab the local road template here, and then come over here and start editing. And bring that one in. Like that. And it's going to have the same thing where I bring up the attribute table, and I can see that the template has already simply entered in the type as paved right here. Now I still have to put in the name, so let me put in the name of the road here. I think it's road, like that. So what the template did was automatically enter in my type for me, and it can enter in obviously many more fields than just that. But it enters in the type, and it maintains, let me just click here, it maintains the symbology as you're entering in new features. So the templates allow you to do that, and having all of these layers in the same geodatabase allows me to edit either highways, or if I decide I want to edit streams, I can add a perennial stream there. Maybe there's a missing link from here to there. I doubt it. I think there's a big mountain here, but say there is. We could click on there and put this in place. And look again, and indeed perennial, because we picked the perennial template, is entered in our type. And so for this, we wouldn't have to do anything. And so that's really the advantage of templates, is it starts filling in for you different attribute information, and of course keeps up on the symbology and things like that. Now, where is this stored? It's stored in the map document, the templates, and in layers. So if you store it out a layer, then it's going to store the template for that layer as well. So once you get templates made, you want to make sure you save that as a layer, or else you'll have to do all your editing in that map document. All right. Now let's go down to. You might ask, so how do we create these from scratch? Certainly they're here. Someone's done those. If I wanted to add a new one, how do I do that? What we can do is, let's bring in another layer, and we'll bring in something called research areas. And we have research areas now. Let me stop editing. Better not save our edits. We have research areas, and if we turn them on, we see they're over here. And if we look at our attribute information, we can say, well, there's area, perimeter, and names. Now, so to create a new template, let's go ahead and turn editor back on, and we want to do research areas, and we say OK. And we notice over here in our window that we don't have research areas, because there is no template for it yet. And so what we need to do is we need to organize our templates, and we want to create a new one. So we click on research areas, the layer that we want to create a template for, and we say new template. And we do the same here, finish, and we got our template for that research areas. Now obviously we could have, with new template, we could have created all of them at once if we didn't have any. And notice it took it right from what's being displayed. It's a single feature symbology. So that may not be really appropriate for our purposes. We really would like to have those names put in, because there are different areas. Each one has different names. So how do we get that? Well, the way to do that is, let's close this, go over here, and change our symbology. So go to categories, and we'll base it on names. Let's undo that. And so we have all these names for our research areas. And if we scroll over a little bit, we'll see some of them. There they are. And so now, let's go back and create our template again. Notice we still have the research area template that we created. Let's open up our organized templates, create new, and let's click on research areas. And we say next. Actually, I don't want this one. And then at this time, because we actually had a symbology other than just one, we can select whether to create the template and use all of these classified categories in our template. So we can pick and choose. I'm just going to take them all. They all come in, and they are in addition to our original research area. So we could take our research area, if I right click on this, let's go back to here. If I click here, I can change its name to say unclassified. There. So now I can have all these research areas. If I need to add on to this one here, which appears to be a slick rock area, we have another section that's being added in for research purposes. We would click on slick rock and just digitize in the new area. and it would have the right symbology. And if we looked up here at attributes, it would have the name filled in because that's the item that we had specified. Now, if you have other attributes that you want to add in, you can do that on these things on the templates. You can right click and go to properties on the template, and you can specify the values that you want to put in. Perhaps there's a specific zone. Maybe the zone is used in place of the name, so that you can do some manipulations that you can't do with text. You could give it a zone 1, and you could say OK. Then any time that you create a feature using this template, it will also have the zone 1 entered. So any properties that are in here, you can put in default values, and they will be entered automatically as you digitize. So that's really the nuts and bolts of being able to create and start from scratch, creating templates and using them in your digitizing. I'm not sure what else. Let's see. Are there any questions? I left the mics open, by the way. Is that fairly straightforward? I think it's actually it's a really nice capability to be able to create templates and assign default values to those items, like say freeway. If we look at the default value here, all they had was type, and you saw that constantly got updated, but not the name. So in that way, it just does save an awful lot of effort in going back and putting in the information. You just want to make sure you grab the right template and go and start digitizing. Yes, it does work on shapefiles. This area of interest here, if I look at its properties, I believe it is a shapefile, and I can create a template by going over to the Organize Templates button, click on New, and say give me new one for where's my area of interest? Oh, select. Oh, did I turn it on? Let me close this. Let me stop editing and start it again. Okay, or better yet, when I throw it out, does anyone know why my area of interest was not in my list here for creating a template? It's a test. I know I'm not supposed to give you a test. No, actually, the reason is that area of interest is coming from a different folder, so it cannot be edited at the same time as my other data sets. When I go edit or start editing, I purposely added the area of interest so that we'd have this problem down here. So if I click on area of interest, I will not be able to edit anything else, but I will have area of interest, and it will create a template by default. And the template will be blank as far as any of the attribute information. It'll all be null. If you look at properties, just the IDs in there and the name has not been filled. So yes, templates work with shapefiles as well as geodatabases.